What if I told you that laziness doesn't actually exist the way you think it does? That the thing you've been blaming yourself for, the lack of focus, the constant exhaustion, the inability to start or finish important things, is not a personal failure. It's a neurological response. And more importantly, it's not your fault. Pause for a moment. Think about the last time you tried to concentrate. You sat down with good intentions, maybe to work, maybe to study, maybe to finally improve your life. And then, nothing. Your mind drifted. You reached for your phone without realizing it. Minutes turned into hours, and the familiar thought returned, I'm just lazy. But what if that thought is wrong? What if your brain isn't lazy, but overstimulated? Here's the unsettling part. Most people never realize this is happening to them, because overstimulation doesn't feel like chaos. It feels like boredom, restlessness, mental fog, and it quietly rewires the way your brain handles effort. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your brain feels tired all the time, why motivation feels impossible, and why the solution has nothing to do with discipline. But first, we need to talk about what changed. The confrontation. Your brain was not designed for the world you're living in. For most of human history, stimulation was rare. Silence was normal. Focus was survival. Today, your brain is flooded. Notifications, videos, messages, music, content designed to hijack attention. And your brain doesn't see this as harmless entertainment. It sees it as reward. Every scroll releases dopamine, not pleasure, but anticipation, the chemical that tells your brain, this matters. Now here's the problem. When dopamine is constantly available, your brain adapts. Effort starts to feel expensive. Silence feels uncomfortable. Deep focus feels painful. So when you sit down to do something meaningful, something that doesn't give instant reward, your brain resists. Not because you're weak, but because it has learned a new rule. Why work hard when stimulation is free? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did absolutely nothing? No phone, no music, no background noise? If that question made you uncomfortable, that's not an accident. Your brain has been trained to fear emptiness, and this is where the illusion of laziness begins. You want to act, but your brain wants comfort. You want progress, but your brain wants stimulation. So it delays, avoids, distracts, and you internalize it as a character flaw. Here's a slightly uncomfortable truth. If laziness were real, you wouldn't feel guilty for resting. But you do, because deep down, you want to do better. That desire alone proves something important. You are not lazy, you are overloaded. And the more overstimulated your brain becomes, the harder it is to escape. But here's the twist, and this is where most advice completely fails. The resolution. Most people try to fix this problem with motivation. They wake up earlier, they watch inspirational videos, they make aggressive plans, and when it doesn't work, they blame themselves even more. But motivation was never the issue. Your brain doesn't need more pressure, it needs less noise. Overstimulation reduces your brain's sensitivity to reward, which means normal life starts to feel dull. Work feels heavy, reading feels exhausting, thinking feels slow. So your brain seeks stronger signals. More scrolling, more novelty, more escape. It's a loop. And here's the scary part. If you don't interrupt it, your attention doesn't come back on its own. But the good news? Your brain is adaptable. The same way it learned overstimulation, it can unlearn it. Not overnight, not dramatically, but gradually. It starts with awareness, with noticing how often you reach for stimulation, not because you enjoy it, but because you can't tolerate stillness. It continues with creating small pockets of boredom. Yes, boredom. Because boredom is where focus regenerates. It's where your brain relearns patience, depth, effort, no hacks, no shortcuts, just space. And here's something most people don't expect. When overstimulation decreases, clarity returns, not suddenly, but quietly. You start finishing tasks again. You start trusting yourself again. And the label of lazy slowly dissolves, because it was never true to begin with. So if you've been harsh with yourself, if you felt broken, if you've wondered why trying harder never worked, now you know. This wasn't a discipline problem. It was an environment problem. And understanding that is the first real step forward. If this video helped you see yourself more clearly, take a moment to reflect. And if you want more calm, honest explanations about the mind, focus, and modern life, subscribe to this channel, not for motivation, but for understanding, because clarity changes everything.